Our next speaker, representing the senior class, is Joshua Bennett. Josh, who is from Yonkers, New York, is a double major in Africana Studies and English. He was recently one of 35 winners of the prestigious 2010 Marshall Scholarship for Graduate Studies in the United Kingdom. An accomplished spoken word poet, Joshua is an HBO Brave New Voices Poetry Slam champion. He's performed at the NAACP Image Awards and for President and Mrs. Obama at the White House Evening of Poetry, Music, and the Spoken Word. Josh is also a member of Penn's Exolano Project Spoken Word team, co-founder and formal political action chair of the Penn NAACP chapter, co-founder and chair of the advocacy group Black Men United, and co-founder and co-editor of ASU Review, the first national undergraduate research journal of Africana Studies. He's an active member of Penn's Center for Undergraduate Research and Fellowships, participates in the University Scholars Program, and volunteers as an undergraduate research peer advisor. After graduation, Josh will use his Marshall Scholarship to study at the University of Warwick, where he'll pursue an MA in Theater and Performance Studies, and he'll then pursue a PhD in English at Princeton University with the goal of teaching literature and stage performance at the university level. During the next few minutes, you'll realize why he was selected to become this year's student speaker. Please welcome Joshua Bennett. Woo.
My sister? It's nuts. How you guys doing? You guys ready to have some fun? All right, get you out of here. Let's go. When I was young, my mother stuck a yellow piece of paper to our refrigerator bearing a simple yet powerful message. People learn how to treat you based on what you accept from them. Originally, I took this adage to be little more than another one of my mom's strange pieces of old school wisdom. But today, I stand here before you all with a set of questions she inspired. What does it mean to accept something? What does it mean to be accepted? 4 years ago, the University of Pennsylvania accepted us. Waiting anxiously by our mailboxes and computer screens, the news came to us like a siren in the night, jarring our minds from the moment before. We were officially brilliant now. Ivy League. Exceptional. English major that I am, I couldn't help but think about how similar those words sound. Acceptance. Exceptional. For many of us, the two have often gone hand in hand. For numerous scholarships, jobs, and cocktail party conversations, the Penn name and the exceptional sort of student it represents has been the gateway to an almost automatic sort of acceptance. The kind that comes along with the cultural capital afforded us by a world-class Penn education. And so the question is, how do we, those who have achieved academically, exercise our exceptional intellectual and artistic attributes? What do we actually do with all of the cool stuff we learned in college? Over the past 3 weeks alone, I've spoken with students from Penn with plans ranging from teaching in Brazil to building an art gallery in Brooklyn. Though our individual interests may differ, every single person I've spoken to has echoed the central theme of giving back, of using the skills they've sharpened at Penn to carve the world into something more acceptable. To do so will require that we recognize those still struggling for acceptance. As someone with 3 disabled siblings, I've spent the better part of my young life thinking about what it means to lead a life of privilege, to have access to spaces, people, and opportunities that my older sister and 2 brothers are barred from because they are different. They too are exceptional, but not in the way that earns one a diploma or a spot on an HBO documentary. Autism, schizophrenia, and deafness are not the sort of attributes that most deem worthy of celebration, so I stand before you humbly, fully aware that there are people just like us all across the world. That's a loud helicopter, hold on. That there are people just like us all over the world who by virtue of physical difference, finances, or any number of other factors they have no control over may never even have the chance to know what a university looks like, much less graduate from one. This extraordinary gap between those who have and those who have not is one of the most prominent features of the moment we live in, but it doesn't have to be its defining attribute. We can either accept what the world has given us, or we can do something greater. We can expect the unthinkable, expel the unacceptable, and excel at the unexpected. We can be the X factor, that undeniably powerful good that the evils of the world just aren't ready for. In some ways, my entire time at Penn has been about shirking expectations, about doing poems in prisons, about mentoring on Saturday mornings, about being an outspoken Christian when sometimes my faith was laughed at. My time at Penn was special because it never required that I celebrate one part of my heart and show no attention to the other. Though academics were of paramount importance, there was always room for the occasional cuddle session, dance party, or movie night with the Excelano Project. Penn believed in us, that our many talents did not signify a lack of commitment, but an abundance of gifts that all deserve their proper due. Before I was accepted to Penn, school was less about education and more about surviving. I grew up in an underfunded public school system in Yonkers, New York. My elementary school teachers told my parents that I would never be able to function in a traditional classroom setting and that my imagination was too big for my own good. It would always keep me from achieving the sort of success that my family hoped for. These were the moments where my mother made good on her promise not to simply accept what the world gave her. She had faith in her son's exceptional mind and an exceptional God. So today, as the graduation speaker for the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Pennsylvania, I can honestly say that I am thankful for that teacher's words. I remember them the way an ocean remembers a hurricane. They rattled me in the moment, but could do nothing to change what I was, who I was. Back then, who would have thought that my undying love for Scrabble would turn into a college degree? That my unruly imagination would lead me to study theater in Great Britain, or that the poems I once scrawled in composition notebooks would make the President of the United States stand to his feet. No one on earth but the mother who assured me from the very beginning that the world's judgments were nothing more than suggestions of who I could be. So to the class of 2010, I urge you to remember that long before, thank you guys, thank you. Long before Penn accepted any of us, every single one of the people in these stands thought that we were worth honoring. Before we ever sat in a classroom, read a book, or even spoke our first words, there was someone who felt we deserved a fighting chance at life. So our value is not to be found in these diplomas or the name of the institution we got them from. What makes us special is the very fact that we are alive, here, together. We have spent the past few years learning to live the life of the mind, but what about our hearts? Most leave college with a refined approach to thinking, but what Penn gave me was the courage to act even when logic told me no, to listen to the voice inside and give whatever beauty it inspired in me to the world. People learn how to treat you based on what you accept from them. So do not accept silence with booming voice or nimble hands. Tell the world your story, your beautiful, exceptional story. Thank you.